Real quick, I want to do a fair use. Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. I'm going to give double honor to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom, to you sisters, your Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. Yeah, so this is Dig Watch. Let me try to blow it up so you can see. It's called Geneva Internet Platform, Dig Watch. Right, so it's digwatch.com, and it says the U.S. military to deploy thousands of AI enable autonomous vehicles by 2026. It says the U.S. military plans to deploy thousands of enabled autonomous vehicles by 2026 as part of an initiative called Replicator. While fully autonomous lethal weapons, pay attention, be mindful, it's saying lethal weapons are expected. So not only is this thing is an autonomous, just a robot, they're gonna give this robot lethal weapons, right? With the next few years, officials insist that humans will always remain in control and emphasize the importance of responsible AI implementation. Implementation. Right? So they say they're gonna put computers, AI, some thing out there with lethal weapons, and this is responsible, and because they're gonna put a person with it, so-called, right? Yeah, so it says the U.S. military has ambitious plans to develop thousands of AI-enabled autonomous vehicles by 2026 as part of an initiative called Replicator. This initiative aims to accelerate the adoption of small, smart, and inexpensive military platforms to keep peace with China's military advancements. So what do they have to do with you as an Americans, that they want to put this on the streets for you, against you? And this is supposed for China's military advancements. So are they're going to put this on American streets test it out on you for China, right? That's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like this the testing grounds, right? That's what it sounds like. They're gonna make America the testing grounds, right? Yeah. So it says, while there is the general agreement among scientists, industry experts, and the Pentagon officials that full autonomous lethal weapons will be deployed in the next few years, which according to now, that was a few years, that was 3 years later for them, but this is, you're talking, this is the next 6 months at this point, because this is 2025, this is June 2025, right? This is the 3rd day of June, right, of 2025, and you're talking 6 months from now. And it's saying, and that's give or take. They may do something else, you know what I mean? But eventually, this is their plans, right? It says officials that fully autonomous lethal weapons will be deployed in the next few years. The military insists that humans will always remain in control. See? They insist that humans will always remain in control, right? However, right? See, now they, however, advancements in data processing speed and machine-to-machine communications may relegate human supervisory roles. So the computer, or the AI, whatever it is, you know, the robot, right? The computer, the AI, it can relegate human supervisory role. Say, hey, I ain't gotta listen to you, right? As AI technology becomes more sophisticated. So it's saying, hey, look, I'm an AI, I'm more sophisticated than you. I ain't gotta listen to your human demands. I do what the hell I want. Right? And that's what they're saying. And that's so something could happen, so they could blame it on the machine. It malfunctioned, or so on and so forth. Or it just did what you programmed it to do, right? Yeah, so this is as you keep going, because it's basically saying this is what they're planning to do for the military, but I can see them basically testing it so they can use it on you as American citizens, right? Because right now it's just saying, it says the Pentagon currently has over 800 AI related unclassified projects focusing on augmenting human operations capability, right? Which is basically saying that to give humans more ability to control the AI. But at this point, they don't have it. It's what they're saying. AI is used for various purposes: surveillance, fitness training, aircraft maintenance, right? Oh, yes, they got it for different things. Predictions, right? Space monitoring, right? Yeah, they got to monitor. Yeah. Howard Shy's going to come from outer space. See, yeah. Logistic logistical supply support for the moment. AI technology tracks soldiers' fitness and predicts maintenance needs for Air Force planes. However, adopting AI technology in the military poses significant challenges regarding technology and personnel, right? To have these things close in proximity of each other, right? Because they're going to have to work with it. It says the Department of Defense need to help keep pace with AI advancements and rapidly retooling to meet China's progress, right? So they're trying to keep up with China on top of it. So, this is progress. What is this?
Recruit.
Yeah, they're recruiting. Yeah, enlist, recruit, sign up. Yeah, because China has way more people. Recruiting, retraining, talent for testing AI technology and establishing monitor a mature testing and enabling in evolve. Let's see. Select it.
Evaluation.
Select evaluation standards is necessary, right? So this was 3 years ago. So I believe, yes, it says AI overview based on the search results. It is important to clarify the situation regarding the use of robots by San Francisco Police Department. Initial approval and subsequent reversal, right? Okay, because it's basically explaining they approved it and then I guess they reversed it. That's what this basically says. Okay, it says, and in November 2022, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors initially voted to approve a policy that would allow the San Francisco Police Department to use remote controlled robots as a potentially deadly force option in extreme emergency situations. However, this initial approval faced significant public outcry and controversy, led to a swift reversal. So in December 2022, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors voted
unanimously.
Yeah, unanimously, Slucky, to expeditiously ban the use of robots as deadly force option, at least for the time being. Right? Yeah, exactly. Because it's all gonna come back full circle anyway. They're gonna do it anyway, right? Because this is, and then they're saying remote control. Yeah, the lady said that's creepy, right? As if that's not creepy. Yeah, very creepy. But yeah. See right here, this is just a so-called security bot, which is in San Francisco, right? Here you go. Pretty much the exact same thing. Machine for New York Police Department, right? They're showing you, right? This is the thing they're gonna do nationwide, bro. And this is just like the start of it.
$9 an hour. This is below minimum wage. No bathroom breaks, no meal breaks.
Yeah, that's what. All right.
The idea of the robot actually was introduced by the mayor of the city of Huntington Park and the city council. The robot itself was given the name HP RoboCop for Huntington Park. It's, rather a futuristic piece of equipment that essentially is a sophisticated, current time, high definition camera system. All of the video footage is recorded 24/7. It also has an alert button feature wherein.
So basically, from San Francisco to New York, and then Huntington Park is just outside of LA. So from San Francisco, New York to LA, these are things that they're basically pushing, right, as police. And so this right here looks non-aggressive. Some people say it looks freakish, it looks scary. But because if you know anything about Esau Edom, I mean, he's the classic give him an inch, he'll take a mile type of devil, right?
I'm not coming out.
St. Pete Police,
Come out with your hands up. No, I'm not coming out.
Yeah. And so, of course, it's starting out with these small, little, so-called insignificant robots. But this is a thing that's going to be around an entire world. See right here, it's Russia, right? So this thing is not going away. Now, this one is a little exaggeration to this video, but if they already thinking this, that they most likely got something like this. That's what I'm saying. They already, they're showing you the little cute animal one, the little dog one. They show you like the things that doesn't look so bad, but so this is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people." And the children of Daniel's people are the Israelites, right? Yasha Allah, right? "And there shall be a time of trouble," right? And that's the time that we're about to come into. It's going to be a great deal of trouble. You're talking about killer robots, and the police, right, is adopting the thing from the military, right? Right? Those are military, operated robots, right? That was meant for the military, right? So, shall be a time of trouble such as never since there was a nation. And you've never seen killer robots, which people are protesting against, right? This thing frightens people, but nevertheless, these are things that is going to happen, right? Never since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, which is dealing with the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Israel of the Most High, Yasha Allah of the Most High, right? Those that were chosen, they were the ones who created the world with Yahushai. Right? They created the foundations of the world from the beginning. They were with Yahushai. And everyone that shall be found written in the book of life, and those individuals was from the beginning. They were with Yahushai. And so therefore their names will be written in the book of life. Right? Written in the book, which and later on you read, it's basically the book of life. I'm going to skip down to 4. It says, "O Daniel, but thus, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book," right? Which is talking about the Bible, "even to the time of the end." And so now we're at the end. We're at the time of the end, man. We're at the end. We're at the milliseconds of this time. "Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. So we're at the time that knowledge has increased, and through that knowledge, they're creating killer robots, right? Yeah, so this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 20. Pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on Sabbath day, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, neither shall ever be. Right? Which this was time of 70 AD, but this is going to be even greater than that, right? Because there's never been a time that we suffered like we suffered during the time of 70 AD, right? And but this is going to far even exceed that, you know? Yeah, so this is Joel chapter 2, verse 2. It says, the day of darkness and of gloominess, right? And this day is going to be dark, confusion, right? It's going to be death, right? You're gonna be able to feel the death, right? You're going to be able to feel the pressure and knowing that the Most High is not pleased. You're going to know that there's a power. You're going to know that it's the Most High allowing this thing to happen, man. Right? And you're going to feel the gloominess alluring over this place, over the world, really. Because this is not just going to happen here. You one of the robots was from Russia. So this is going to be in Russia. Of course, some of the ones China. So these robots and things are going to be everywhere, right? Right? And you're going to feel death. It's going to be a lot of people die. A massive amount of people at one time. And of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, right? So you know how like the morning you wake up, it's maybe like 4 something, whatever, just before 5. And a lot of times that sun kind of pops up about 5, but then things are still a little bit dark. And as time goes on, as the sun rises more and more, it spreads as the morning goes, right? And the light completely shines, you know, the city or wherever place that you live, right? But it's basically giving you that example, but this time it's going to be complete darkness, right? You know, instead of it being light, darkness, death, confusion, right? Depression. Yeah, it's going to be heavy, man. It says, a great people and strong, there hath not been ever the like, right? Which this thing is actually talking about the ICBM missiles, right? Which that's another, you know, because of knowledge has increased, they have been able to create another mechanism, a mechanism of death, right? Which have never been, right? Which there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it. So once the missiles hit and America turns into a desert and the missiles hit it's other strategic places, China, Russia, wherever they hit, and these places burn, and then the new Jerusalem come down from out of the chariots, out of the fathership, down into earth to take over earth and to rule it. You'll never see that ever again. You'll never see missiles. You'll never see robots. You'll never see drones ever again. Right? These nations are going to serve their 1,000 years of slavery, and you'll never see weapons like that again. You may see a two-edged sword, like the Lord said, a two-edged sword to round up and slap chains on their nobles with feathers of iron, with heavy sets of iron, and neck bracelets, yokes of iron upon their necks. But you're never gonna see a automatic machine gun. Hell, you're not even gonna see a car ever again, right? There will be no need for that type of stuff anymore. Definitely no weapons, no ICBM missiles, no drones. You know what I'm saying? No shotguns, right? Right? What is it? M16s and all that madness, man. You never again, right? That's why this is talking about, this one's talking about the missiles, basically. It says, never shall it be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. See, it ain't gonna never be again, ever again, to many, many, many generations, which basically be forever, because it's never gonna come again. As fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth, right? Which is talking about the ICBM missiles. The land is as the Garden of Eden, right? Which Eden means Idon, which means paradise, right? So America's looking like paradise, right? There's still some beautiful places, even though they're using their direct energy weapon to burn up, vegetation and food, and maybe kill the livestock so they can basically push forth this crisis that's about to happen. So that way it pushes and causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive that mark, charagma, crux, grapho, right? As they go on this man-made famine and pestilence, right? That they plan on pushing, right? Allegedly, right? Before them and behind them, right? Which is talking about the ICBM missiles, a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape. See, and once the missiles hit America, nobody here is going to escape. Maybe the elite, but most likely they'll be already gone. They'll know, they'll get some type of warning or whatever way before time. That's why they were already doing the practice drills, where they'll get a warning from in Washington. They'll run out to their jets or the helicopters, which will take them to the jets, and the jets will just fly them out real fast, but before it actually hits. Get them to the bunker. They'll run into the bunkers, slam the doors shut. Their way of having the their version of Noah's Ark, right? And they'll be safe until it's time for the elect to come and put them into slavery. Yeah, so this is Mark chapter 13, verse 19. For in those days shall be afflictions, right? And that's what's about to happen, man. There's nothing new under the sun, right? So if those things happened to us before, right, they're gonna happen to us again, but it's going to be heightened because of the technology, right? Such as was not from the beginning of creation, which the power of the Most High Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, through his son Yahweh Shai, and the elect created unto this time, right? Neither shall be, man. And listen, that's not gonna happen no more. This is, you've never seen this happen before, but it's gonna be heightened because of the knowledge, man. Knowledge have increased. Now they got telling you they're willing to bring the killer robots to the police, right? Things that's meant for actual war, actual combat, to your actual neighborhood, right? And accept that the Lord, right, out of one, have shortened, which is Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, have shortened those days. No flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake, whom he have chosen, right? He have shortened those days, right? Which those who are from the foundation of the world, right? It says Mark 13 and 26, then shall they see the Son of Man, right? Which is Yahweh Shai. And that's what's going to happen in this time. The nukes come out. All hell's breaking loose in the world. And World War III comes to play. The nukes are coming out, right? Then shall the Son of Man, right, which is Yahweh Shai, come in the clouds, right, which is talking about that fathership, that great fathership, big, right? Almost bigger than the earth, right? It's going to expand that every eye shall see him with great power and glory. And then shall he send his angels and shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the uttermost parts of the earth to the uttermost parts of heaven. So all over the world, the Lord is going to be gathering that elect in that time period. Right? Yeah, so this is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for the day, for that great day is Shalakia. Alas, for that day is great, right? So hey, it's going to be finally here. It's going to be finally here, right? So that none is like it. So hey, no other day is going to be like this day at all, man. Like I said, one great example is there was never in history killer robots, right? There were never in history ICBM missiles, right? You know, you can call a missile an arrow. You can call an arrow a missile. Hell, you can even call a bullet a missile, right? Because at one point in time, that's what they called them. But nothing is like the actual nuclear capable missiles, man. Nothing's ever been like that. You couldn't take an actual literal bow and arrow and place an atom in it, you know what I'm saying, and shoot it in times past. They might have something. Hey, they might have something like that now. Who knows? But we know those hypersonic, right? You never had a hypersonic ICBM missile before, intercontinental, right? That goes to continents that can reach the four winds of the earth. At one point in time, there was they didn't know that there was four winds of the earth. They didn't know there were four corners to the earth. 4 quarters of the earth, right? But through Saint Elmo's fire, got these Edomites over here fulfilling prophecy, and now they're fulfilling more prophecy by bringing out these mechanical weapons of destruction, proving that there's going to never be a time like this ever again. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Yaquab's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, which is the elect, man. The elect is going to be saved out of it, right? Which you're going to have to go through something. It's not all that, what are they doing? That plantation, what do you believe in? tribulation or post tribulation, or however they come up with that. Yeah, we're gonna have to go through some things, man. You gotta get tested, but you're gonna be saved. If you're the elect, you will be saved, and he shall be saved out of it. He is what? Israel, right? Which his that name got bestowed upon the 12 sons, which 12 sons had sons to this very day, and now you may or may not know who you are, right? But through the Spirit, hey, we're doing the things that the prophets would have done. And for it shall come to pass in that day shall Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakadash of hosts, which means armies, that I will break the yoke from off his neck and will burst thy bonds, right? Which dealing with these birth certificates, stock, the things that you're on the stock market for, right? Because the Lord's he's got to allow them to crash the stock market, crash everything. Things are going to happen on a rapid, fast pace, right? And if you are not charagma, those bonds, you're no longer yoked to that. They're going to crash the dollar. They're going to crash the system. In order for you to get booted back into the system, you have to get the charagma. So once that happens, the Lord is gonna. Those are part of bursting the bonds by the stock market crashing, right? Because the only way you do it is to willingly say, "Hey, look," and that's why it makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world by saying, "I love my master," by getting the charagma. Because once the stock market crash, you're no longer part of their system. They burst the bonds. Wow, Tawada Yahweh, right? And strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. See, and man, no longer going to be slaves. And see, the Lord already said he's going to go send angels to gather his elect. Hey, man. Yeah, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 62. So these times have I not shown unto all men, right? So this is a time that has not been shown to all men, but through the prophecies we're privy to the Lord saying, what, this is the time of Jacob's trouble. It's a time that's never been, right? So you understand that certain things are going to happen, but we don't know all. We know in part, we prophesied in part. So these are the things that we do know, right? So the Lord said he showed that he have not shown other men, but unto thee and a few like thee. See, and as brothers and sisters that's in this truth, ultimately talking about the brothers, right? You've been showed this truth that you can deliver it to the other, the hopeful elect. And then, Lord willing, the hopeful lady, she gets it. And, now it's set up for the Lord to gather his elect, right? We're coming towards the end, right? Then answered I and said, behold, right, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention, O Lord, right, out of one, which really he's talking to the angel, but he's basically referring to the Lord, like, yeah, hey, Lord, Yahweh, out of one, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, now has thus showed me thus hast showed me the multitude of wonders which thus will do in the last time. So we're in this last times, So he said, hey, Lord, I know you show me all these things, but he's trying to make sure, he's trying to make clarity of this thing, right? And he says, but what time thus has not showed me? So say, yeah, you showed me all these things and what you should do in the last times, but what time that you didn't show me? What did you not show me anything? Like, you trying to make sure you show, hey, Lord, did you show me everything I need to know? Right? And it says, 2nd Esdras chapter 9, verse 1, and he answered me then and said, measure thus the time diligently in itself. So that's ultimately what we're doing. We're seeing the times, and you're seeing killer robots, ICBM missiles, World War III, uproars of the people. People are protesting about this thing, right? Right? And when thus seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thus understand that it is the very same time wherein the Most High, or the highest, shall visit the world which he made. And you have never seen a time like this. It's never been a time ever before where that even the Lord said, man, you're gonna know I'm coming to visit. They're gonna well understand, right, that I'm coming to visit the world which I made. I'm coming to punish this place. Right? So with all that, I'm gonna give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, right? To the elder bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners, whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father, and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, you Akhwathim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson, and Kwam Yesharallah, and Abba Baba.
Our top story this hour starts in San Francisco, where critics are speaking out against a controversial decision by the city to allow police to use armed robots. KRON 4's Charles Clifford has the latest.
Last week, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors voted 8-3 to allow the police department, in very limited circumstances, to arm robots with explosives. Now that story has gathered national attention, and there are people pushing back against the decision, asking the Board of Supervisors to change course. On the steps of San Francisco City Hall Monday morning, dozens of people gathered to voice their opposition to the Board of Supervisors voting to allow the police department to arm robots with explosives.
Seems like a complete no-brainer to me, completely reckless that we would give police robots to kill people here in San Francisco. That is absolutely unacceptable.
Have we had a deep conversation about the ethics of a machine on the streets of San Francisco being armed and ready to kill human beings? If we have, I haven't heard it.
What if a robot is hacked? What if there's a malfunction with a robot? What if somebody meaning to do harm to communities was somehow able to take over these machines? Because that's what they are, machines.
The police department has said that arming robots would only happen in emergency situations, but